Acting Speaker, further to my contribution on the 29th of May 2024, I rise to make a further contribution on the Economy and Infrastructure Committee's report inquiry into the impact of road safety behaviours on vulnerable road users. And Acting Speaker, the inquiry and the subsequent report, recommendations and government response continues to be strongly welcomed by many across my community, because vulnerable road users deserve to be respected and safe when commuting along our local roads, streets, footpaths and neighbourhoods. Whether cycling, walking, pushing a pram, utilising a mobility device or boarding a train, tram or bus, all vulnerable road users deserve our respect. However, as the inquiry highlighted following on from the COVID-19 pandemic, the committee heard overwhelming evidence that we've continued to experience a dramatic increase in worsening driver behaviour via dangerous driving, aggressive driving, impatient driving, risk-taking driving, speeding, distracted driving, inattention, drink driving, drug driving and failure to wear seatbelts, which when combined continue to remain the largest contributing factors and causes of tragic fatalities, accidents, incidents and far too many near misses on our roads. And as the committee also highlighted, its vulnerable road users continue to tragically experience the brunt of this deteriorating driver behaviour and disproportionately are represented when it comes to road fatalities, serious accidents, incidents and near misses across our state and Merri roads. In 2023, the report found that vulnerable road users made up 36% of lives lost on Victorian roads. In 2022, they made up almost half, 47%. And it's across Merri that these issues are compounded more hazardous, with council submission highlighting 5 fatalities of vulnerable road users in 2022, another in March 2023, and over 2020 to 2022 there were 123 recorded fatal or serious injury crashes involving vulnerable road users across Merri, 118 serious injuries and 5 deaths. Of those, 38% occurred on local council-managed roads and streets, and 62% occurred on state-controlled roads involving 28% pedestrians, 38% motorcyclists and 34% cyclists. Additionally, 79% of all fatal and serious crashes involving pedestrians and nearly all pedestrian lives lost in Merri occurred on arterial roads during this time. And Acting Speaker, these statistics of course do not include the more recent tragic fatalities which have occurred on Moreland Road and Gordon Street, with the death of a skateboarder, Moreland Road in the vicinity of the John Falconer Hospital with the death of a cyclist, Bell Street in the vicinity of the Coburg Town Hall with the death of a motorcyclist, Bell Street and Sydney Road intersection, which involved a truck and a vulnerable road user, and other ongoing incidents and accidents along our arterial corridors, including namely along Sydney Road, North Coburg, Murray Road and our other arterial corridors. And Acting Speaker, these are simply not numbers. They're family members, neighbours, students, elderly residents, people out walking or riding, and they are far overrepresented in this trauma data. And Acting Speaker, we heard directly from my local community of Pascoe Vale, Coburg and Brunswick West through the overwhelming submissions and evidence, including the dedicated public hearing we held at the Coburg Town Hall on the 9th of August in 2023. The committee heard that the Coburg High School's Active Transport Committee continues to rise. That is, the students who actively commute to high school in Coburg is one of the highest in the states, with 53.4% of its 1,255 students walking or riding the whole way to school, and a further 23.3% walking to school from a train station or bus or tram stop. That's nearly 80% of students, Acting Speaker, who actively commute to Coburg High School. However, the ongoing issues with dangerous aggressive driving behaviour and the absence of appropriate road safety measures continues to create risks and concerns for many. We heard from the crossing supervisor at the corner of Bell Street and Sydney Road at the inquiry, who said, quote, "Each day I notice many vehicles speeding through the intersection, running red lights and ignoring no right turn signs. It can be extremely scary with some motorists each day." A local parent, Charlotte Patch, at the inquiry stated, "I'm the mother of an 11-year-old who attends Coburg Primary School. We live around 5 minutes by bike from the school, and in the last 2 years I've become increasingly concerned about the massive increase in traffic on surrounding roads, increase in careless driving, serious incidents on Murray Road, Bell Street, Nicholson Street and Pentridge Boulevard, the prevalence of entitled behaviour from drivers and lack of safe crossings for children attending Coburg Primary, Coburg High and other neighbourhood schools. It appears as though the entire design of the roads around the school in Coburg is to increase convenience for drivers at the expense of children's safety going to and from school. I would like to see a significant increase in traffic calming measures, speed bumps, reductions in speed limits around schools, additional crossing personnel and changes in traffic light sequencing to preference children and families crossing the roads." We heard from Lisa O'Halloran, the Merri Bicycle User Group convener, who reported 63% of their members surveyed reported increased mobile phone use and distracted driving since 2020. She said, when you are on a bike, you certainly notice the number of people that are staring at their phones a lot of the time. It really is quite concerning. I continue, Acting Speaker, to draw the Minister to the 61 findings and 56 recommendations outlined in the report, so we continue taking action to make our local roads safer for all.